Another oil discovery offshore Guyana and better standard of living expected following first oil. It's Tuesday, August 13. We have lots to tell you today. Guyana's oil reserves continue to increase as the Tullow Oil Company strikes liquid gold at the Jethro-1 exploration well.
This is a major development for the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, as it further de-risks the deep and ultra-deep zone. Furthermore, it offers significant potential for the diversification of the country's hydrocarbon production base, making it less vulnerable and dependent on a single operator.
Director of the Department of Energy, Dr. Mark Bino. Dr. Bino told the Department of Public Information that while the find is not as huge as Exxon's, it is still very significant.
While we do recognize that the finds or the prolific finds by Exxon and its co-venturers thus far outnumber what the Tullow consortium has found. Nonetheless, it does provide Guyana an opportunity to be able to broaden that production base.
On Monday morning, Dr. Bino announced that the UK-based Tullow Oil wholly owned subsidiary Tullow Guyana BV discovered oil in commercial quantities. He said the oil was found in the Jethro-1 exploration well drilled in the Ornduk block offshore Guyana. The Jethro-1 well was drilled by the Stena Fort drillship to a total depth of 4,400 meters in approximately 1,350 meters of water. Dr. Bino said the Jethro-1 well is the first discovery on the Ornduk block and comprises high-quality oil-bearing sandstone reservoirs of lower tertiary age.
The department continues to be encouraged because it does lend to additional revenue flowing to the country to allow it to transform itself from its present state and to put it on a more sustainable development pathway going forward. For the average man, he can expect increased employment opportunities, as the President has already expressed.
Felicia Valenzuela, InfoHub.
With prudent management of the economy fueling its growth, Minister of Finance, the Honorable Winston Jordan, predicts that all Guyanese will benefit from an expected GDP of 4.5% by the end of 2019. Interviewed on the National Communications Network's Insight program on the Voice of Guyana, the Finance Minister reminded of Guyana's stable and expanding economy. He noted that all indicators point towards the aforementioned growth, with the best economic performance since 2014.
We were coming off a lower base in 2017 because we had only grown, I think, by 2% or 1.9% or something like that. So growing by 4.1 on a low base is fine. It means you recovered. But now you grow at 4% at the half year, which is on that higher 2018 base. And the outlook, quite contrary to what others have been peddling, extremely bright. Our latest estimate, looking at the numbers last night, is for growth to be 4.5% by the end of this year.
Guyana's financial state is good, with revenues buoyant, according to Minister Jordan, allowing for spending in a number of critical areas.
You see all the road works that are being done, the houses that are going up, wells in certain places where people never seen water before, in the hinterland and other areas, lights where people have never had before, street lights and all these things, changing over to the energy efficient bulbs and so on. So quite a lot is going on, reflective of the fact that now we can do these things because our revenue profile has gone up sharply.
Measures such as a tax amnesty, which added $10 billion in former arrears to the nation's coffers, the minister noted, and the shift in total dependence away from traditional areas of sugar, rice, gold, bauxite, and lumber, and others, with the advent of oil and gas bodes well, the minister explained.
And even though not a drop of petroleum has come up to the surface as yet, we have significant activities that are taking place leading up to that force drop in March or the first quarter of 2020. So we are quite happy with what the situation is, and I would like to tell the population that they can look forward with confidence to a growing economy in which they can look forward to ever increasing benefits.
Underscoring his message of equal access to education for all, His Excellency President David Granger spoke on youth development on International Youth Day on Monday, August 12.
I feel that education is going to help to open people's eyes to the need for equality. It's not just about getting a certificate, but having that certificate, having that qualification, you will be able to compete on an equal basis with children from other regions. So education is important, employment is important. The perception of equality, that all Guyanese children are entitled to the same benefits from the government.
The head of state, in his push for greater youth development, has indicated that making education more accessible throughout Guyana has been a commitment that has become a reality over the last 4 years.
There was a time when hinterland education was, I would say, the stepchild of the education system, but it is part of our policy to take education to the students, to the communities, rather than have the students come to the towns.
Ranging from additional dormitories to house students, to new school buildings, 21st century smart classrooms, and educational reform, the coalition government has made known its seriousness in ensuring that each child is afforded a good education so that they will benefit from the good life.
My mission is to have a first-class secondary school in every region, in every capital town.
The government of Guyana has invested record amounts into the education sector with a 2019 budgetary allocation of $52.2 billion. Natisha Isaacs for InfoHub.
Still to come, youth parliamentarians prepare for debates and 106 indigenous youths participate in exchange program. The details of these after the break.
Are you ready to embark on a truly epic adventure to an undiscovered corner of South America, where some of the most spectacular natural attractions are unveiled within a beautifully diverse landscape? From the wetlands and savannas to the ancient mountains, magnificent waterways and lush enriching rainforest would provide a vast playground for some of the most exotic and breathtaking creatures on the planet, including many of the world's giant species. This untouched land of mystery and wonder serves up an exclusive experience for travelers. So are you ready for a new, awe-inspiring adventure? Welcome back to nature. Welcome to Guyana.
Welcome back. Staff of the Ministry of Public Health, whose children recently sat the National Grade 6 assessment, have received school supplies in preparation for the new school year.
A total of 14 students were awarded by the ministry for their performance at the NGSA examinations, which were held in April. Akila Smith, who is an aspiring doctor, was the bravest among the bunch to thank the Ministry of Public Health for the kind gesture.
My name is Akila Smith, and I used to attend West Rangville Primary School. The school I got was Westdem Secondary School, and I got 479. I would like to thank the Ministry of Public Health for the gift, and it will go towards my new school year.
Noting that this is the first time the ministry has taken such an initiative, Minister of Public Health Waldo Lawrence said it should serve as an incentive for the students to be successful in completing their secondary school phase.
Now this little ceremony is not about us, it's about you. Your mommy and your daddy, who work within the ministry, they work very hard to ensure that we can give service to all the people across Guyana. And this is one of the small ways in which we can give back to them. And we're giving back to them through you, because we see you as the next leaders, whether it's in the health sector or in any other sector, or even at the presidential level.
The children received a book bag filled with school supplies, including calculators, geometry sets, notepads, folders, along with a lunch pack. These are just some critical supplies they would need as they turn out to school in September too. For InfoHub, Delicia Haynes.
Participants in the 5th Annual Youth Parliament were assisted in their preparations through interactive sessions hosted by the Minister of Public Health, the Honorable Valda Lawrence, and the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Honorable Dr. Karen Cummings.
This year's Youth Parliament will see the secondary school students debating topics such as the ban on the use of plastic, discipline in school, and curbing substance abuse, while the university students will discuss the use of the Sovereign Wealth Fund, Guyana's migration policy, and youth participation in governance, among other topics. The participants were guided on parliamentary etiquette and decorum, as well as an introduction to the laying of motions in Parliament and subsequent discussions and debates.
I'm here because I believe that this is an opportunity to address the young, sharp, bright minds of the future leadership of our beautiful country, Guyana.
Minister Lawrence thanked the students for their participation, noting it is a privilege for them to learn the inner workings of Parliament.
And so I trust that today, that what I have to share with you on motions will stimulate your interest even more in becoming a part of this august body, and more so, contributing in a significant way to the legislature of Guyana.
Speaking on parliamentary etiquette and decorum, Minister Cummings told the students that it is expected that members of Parliament, MPs, will conduct themselves in an orderly, polite, and respectful manner to preserve order in the National Assembly.
The response was so overwhelming. You can see the eagerness, the anxiety of the students to learn. I spoke about etiquette and decorum, and they were just glued to me. In addition to that, they wanted to know about the standing orders and the motions and how they do and when they can speak and how they can, if they can interrupt when someone is speaking.
Since its re-establishment in 2015, the Youth Parliament Initiative is a tool to motivate team spirit among the youth by involving them in a parliamentary democracy, building self-confidence and leadership capabilities, and promoting public speaking. Natisha Isaacs for InfoHub.
Young people representing 15 indigenous communities met at the Cato Secondary School for the launch of the first program of its kind in Region 8 and a third such nationally.
As 106 youth from 15 indigenous communities converged at Cato Secondary School, several of them shared their expectations for the 8-day program. One in particular traveled for 7 hours by bicycle to allow his nephew to benefit from the exchange program.
If he get our experience for this, we will go back to our village, or he will develop his community.
Learning new things that I don't know, and so that when I go home I can share it with my people at home.
Some of the things that I'm hoping to take away from the program is discipline, cooperation, and how to interact with other people, young people.
Learning different things, meeting new people, and I would like to go back and do new things for my village, because in my village we certain things we actually don't have, like we find less cooperation and so on, and I would like to improve people in doing those kind of things or so.
Minister of State, the Honorable Dawn Hastings Williams, encouraged the youth to play their role in Guyana's development.
I want to encourage you to make full use of the 8 days that you have here, intermingling with each other, sharing ideas, sharing your dreams, sharing your visions, and you will be an active participant in developing North Pacaraima, Patara-Siparuni region, and your country as a whole.
Acting coordinator within the Department of Social Cohesion, Natasha Singh Lewis, outlined the goal of the training exercise.
Coming out of this training, it's not just a one-off training. You will have to develop projects that will indicate development for your communities. That project will help you to demonstrate what you have learned here.
Reported from Cato Village in the North Pacaramas with videographer Anil Silal, Shaquille Bourne for InfoHub.
UGCOM tip for the day: get your documents ready to register. You must have one of these documents: a valid birth certificate, valid passport, adoption certificate, or a naturalization certificate. For married women, a marriage certificate is required, and for individuals who had a name change that is not stated on the birth certificate, a deed poll must be presented. Only original documents will be accepted. Get registered. That's all for today. Connect with us on WhatsApp, Facebook, and YouTube. Much more news is on our website, dpi.gov.gy, and pop over to Instagram for the latest photo updates at DPI Guyana. Your Bridge and Weather reports are up next. Goodbye for now.